You know, there's always a moment, isn't it, when you think about it, where you get it wrong, you know, the sort of thing I mean. And you kind of think to yourself, what I should do is either keep my head down, shut up, zip it, move on, and hope that nobody notices. This is what a lot of celebrities do, you know, they disappear for a while. A bit like J-Lo looking from the ramshackle mess of her recent marriage to Ben Affleck, the flop album, the flop documentary, the flop film, you know. J-Lo now has been dishing out some of her frocks, literally, to the much needed people who are without clothing and food, of course, during the devastating LA fires. But it was this one, wasn't it, that really created the headline. Disaster tourist, put out by, of course, the actress Justine Bateman. And then Meghan hit back. Oh, you know, she was upset by that, you know, it's terrible, that sort of stuff. Really, as I said to you before, what I find fascinating about Meghan Markle and her team is that nobody can really get the grips with her. Or they clearly just most absolutely 100% loathe her, because why on earth would you let your client, and remember these are some of the most expensive agents and managers in the world, continue to dig literally an even bigger hole? But this is what happened. Let me explain. Morning, good to see you. Thank you so much as ever for your time today. Lovely to have your company. You know, as I said, it's strange, isn't it? What you find with people, I don't know if you find this, but you just kind of think, shut up, move on, and hopefully people might forget the big mistake. When I worked in the record industry, you know, if you had a flop, say, single or album, you just didn't mention it again, you know, or hopefully nobody brought it up in an interview. But Meghan has now decided to do this, and this is simply because she thinks that this will just rectify the wrongs. She's popped up once again in a different blouse and of course is still the same hat, apparently dishing out much needed gear. Now, without being unjust, some might say, well look, she's trying her very best here. There is a woman showing some compassion, all of that sort of stuff. But it just doesn't bode well, simply because when you've tossed your own father aside, even during illness, and you've literally gone on camera and been so disrespectful to so many members of your brand new family, people find it hard to believe that you have any compassion. And that's really the big problem now for Meghan. You see, literally this particular picture and footage was snapped apparently on the hoof. But we know that's not really the case, because consequently, behind the scenes, and this is 100%, and as ever, I have to say allegedly, Harry was having nothing to do with it. He knows that this is a disaster on an epic scale. But you see, Meghan believes, and I've said this to you before, that she knows how Hollywood operates. But if she knew how Hollywood operated, then she wouldn't have found herself without work when she was going to be written out of Suits, which was her only big break of a woman in her mid-30s literally clinging on to a few semblance of a career. You get the picture. But moving forward, she actually thought this was a good idea, and apparently is not offended at all by the fact that these pictures have now been beamed around the world, because she thinks that this rectifies the wrong. Now, as I said, we could be giving her a massive injustice. Perhaps she has a bigger heart hidden away somewhere deep, and she's trying simply to do her best. Many stars have now come out and literally hit out at these people that are jumping on the bandwagon. And we've seen this before with Meghan, as you know, when she popped over to that other terrible disaster area. But for now, Harry seemingly has got apparently some sense. According to a source, the reason why he couldn't make it is he's focusing on the forthcoming court cases that he has over here in the United Kingdom. It's nice that they have so much positivity going on in their lives, don't you think? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.